Welcome to today's Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here. Today, we're totally putting on our nutritionist hats, and we're taking a clinical, but super accessible, look at a natural dietary breakdown. We're exploring a homemade colon cleanse protocol that's specifically designed to support your digestive health. As someone who literally geeks out over how the foods we eat physically interact with our bodies, I cannot wait to guide you through this.
So I want to start by asking you a really direct question. Is your digestive system running smoothly right now? Really take a second to evaluate your own gut health. Do you feel light and energized, or are you kind of feeling weighed down? Because before we jump into the remedy, we have to acknowledge the reality of what happens when our internal engine gets, well, a little sluggish.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at your digestive system under stress. Then, formulating the cleanse base, followed by the nutritional powerhouses making it up. Fourth, your daily cleanse protocol. And finally, safety first, covering who should avoid this. Lots to cover, so let's get right into it.
Section 1. Your digestive system under stress. Your colon has an absolutely massive job in the human body. Its primary function is getting rid of waste. It's the body's waste management system. And when that massive job gets overwhelming, your body starts sending you signals. A lot of folks suffer from common signs of a stressed colon. We're talking chronic constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, and leaky gut. These issues can actually lead to a buildup of toxins that cause physical pain. But thankfully, a homemade cleanse can naturally soothe that constipation and physically flush out the exact toxins that are adding to your daily pain.
But hey, before we start mixing ingredients, here is a highly practical piece of clinical advice from our source material. Just plan a day when you do not need to leave your home. I'm saying this with a smile, but I mean it 100% seriously. You are going to need a safe space to just let your body get used to these colon cleansing changes. As your system starts this physical detox process and actually begins cleaning out waste, you'll definitely want the comfort of your own bathroom close by.
All right, moving on to Section 2, formulating the cleanse base.
So it's time for you to act as your own holistic pharmacist. All you need is a tall glass and a spoon to get started. Let's briskly walk through the prep. Step 1. Put 3.5 ounces of clean water into a pan to heat it up, and then pour it right into your glass. Now, the absolute critical detail here is that you want the water warm, not boiled. It has to be a safe, drinkable temperature. Okay, once it's warm, step 2 is to add your sea salt and give it a really good mix. And finally, step 3. You add your apple juice, your ginger juice, and your fresh lemon juice, and mix the whole shebang together.
Section 3. The nutritional powerhouses. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is
We get to actually look at the deep dive nutritional analysis, starting with sea salt. Now, as a nutritionist, I find this completely fascinating from a purely mechanical standpoint. Sea salt acts as a natural compound that actively helps draw out toxins. It literally works to push waste through the body and gives your digestion a massive boost. It's basically the physical driver of this entire cleanse.
Next up, we have the apple juice. Now, we've all heard the famous saying, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, our source notes that this adage didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's rooted in the fundamental truth that nutrition-rich, whole foods bring good health. And since a healthy colon is the gateway to overall good health, whole foods like apples are the absolute foundation of a thriving digestive system.
And this brilliantly illustrates the point. According to the source, a study actually showed that individuals who ate an apple a day literally had fewer visits to the doctor and required fewer prescription medications. The clinical power of the apple is very, very real, folks.
Then we add in our ginger juice. In the nutrition world, ginger is just a phenomenal root extract, and it has a really specific role in this protocol. It's fantastic because it directly tackles and lessens bloating, and at the exact same time, it actively boosts the colon, basically acting as a defender to keep it free from all those built-up wastes and bad toxins.
Finally, we wrap up our ingredient breakdown with the amazing lemon. Lemon juice brings this incredibly powerful dual action to your glass. It directly helps with digestion and detoxification, sure, but it is also exceptionally high in vitamin C. So it acts as a fantastic antioxidant boost for your system, perfectly rounding out our holistic pharmacy.
Okay, let's move to Section 4, your daily cleanse protocol, and let's see how this all builds together.
Because, having the right mixture is really only half the battle. Knowing exactly when to prescribe this dietary cleanse to yourself is just as absolutely crucial. So here's your daily dosage schedule. First, in the morning, you need to drink this mixture first thing on an empty stomach. Then, pre-lunch, you'll mix and drink it again just before eating a light lunch. And I do mean light. Think steamed vegetables and some baked salmon. Then, mid-afternoon, you'll have the mixture for a third time. Finally, by 5 p.m., you really need to start slowing down your overall liquid intake.
And while we're actually on the topic of liquids, I want you to keep this specific number in mind, 6 to 8. Throughout your cleanse day, you need to be drinking 6 to 8 glasses of warm water. This is so essential to keep flushing the system and really aiding that mechanical process we set in motion with the sea salt.
But like I briefly mentioned on the timeline, you really want to slow down the amount of liquids you drink after 5 p.m. This is a highly practical tip from our source to protect your sleep cycle. Think about it. If you keep drinking heavily into the evening, you're going to wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. And a resting, sleeping body is absolutely crucial for healing.
Which brings us to Section 5, Safety First. Who should avoid?
Now, I want to slow down our pacing a bit right here, because while we are dealing with natural, whole food ingredients, responsible nutritional guidance requires us to be careful. Doing this type of colon cleanse shouldn't be a problem for most people, but you must strictly check with your doctor before trying anything new if you fall into any of these categories. If you are pregnant, if you have a disease, if you have allergies, or if you're taking any prescription medications. Seriously, always consult a physician first. So the crucial point is understanding exactly who this is for and who absolutely must avoid it. This cleanse is fantastic for individuals who need natural relief from chronic constipation and the pain of digestive toxins. However, you must avoid this entirely if you are diabetic. Why? Well, there's a very high amount of natural sugar in the apple juice, and that can be highly problematic for a diabetic system.
Now, for those who are safely able to proceed, here is your final clinical guideline on duration. It is best to do this cleanse for just 1 day. If you do choose to extend it, you should only do it for a week at the absolute most, just to ensure you're staying within safe, healthy bounds.
And that brings us to the end of our protocol. Honestly, just look at all the incredible tools nature has provided to help us flush toxins and optimize our digestion. So, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought. Knowing what you know now about your body's waste removal system, are you ready to give your gut a reset? Take control of your digestive health, listen to your body, and keep learning. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.